and it's going to be green light racing here at Monza. Here goes Noah. We're going to try and go wheel to wheel with the leader. Vic, once again, back on the top step. We did say take it easy. Oh my goodness. Sinead's going to go for it here into 14, 15. Side by side, is it going to be Mercedes or is it going to be a BMW?
Hello and welcome back to Season 16 of the Phoenix Sim Sport TCR Championship. And today you join us here at Road America for the penultimate round of this championship, round 9 of 10. And we are looking forward to some epic racing on what is a very, very incredible track. 6.5 kilometers, 14 turns and 150 feet of elevation change await us. This is going to be absolutely epic. It's used by the Indy cars, it's used by IMSA GTP and then GT cars, and today by our very own TCR cars. As usual, I'm joined in the commentary box by Arthur. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing great. I mean, we've had a great season so far. We're into the final round, penultimate round right now. Nearly misspoke there. And we could possibly crown a champion today.
Indeed. I mean, Marcel Miku has been expanding his lead over the rest of the grid. Christian Grzybowski not able to close that gap to the championship leader. The gap stands at about 100 points now between Marcel Miku and Christian Grzybowski for the championship lead. And Tesos Klios is unfortunately pretty much out of the picture when it comes to challenging for the championship win. And he's now on 354 points, not quite able to challenge for that P1 position yet.
Yeah, no, and Miku hasn't had a round where he was off of the podium. Grzybowski had 2 of them, however. P4. Still a good position, but Miku's lowest finishing position is a P6, but that was in race 2 of a round, so he still had a P2 there, while Grzybowski had 2 P4s in the same round, round 3 that was, and also in round 6, which he has used as a drop round, so he will really be trying everything today to outscore Marcel Miku in both the races to still be in the fight for next week at Barcelona. As a qualifying right now, Marcel Miku, the championship leader, gets up into P3. I nearly wanted to say that he was looking a bit off base, but Sklias is just that much further than him right now. That's 9/10.
I was about to say Marcel Miku didn't look like he had he didn't have the pace tonight to keep that edge over Christian Grzybowski, but he quickly proved me wrong by coming in P3 and Christian Grzybowski P2. That was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be starting on the same row there. No, not the same row, different row, but Miku always a rapid on the race starts. Don't know which one of the other cars has a bit more difficulties with it, but yeah.
I mean, Marcel Miku's always just so good off the line, though, isn't he? So I can imagine him just taking the race lead straight from the get-go into turn 1. It's a right-hander, and then it's another right-hander. So as long as he's got the inside line for that, it's game over for the drivers ahead of him, Tesos Klias and Christian Grzybowski.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, turn 1, you can also go very wide there. So we'll see quite a lot of the cars do that, as they have been doing that the past 2 races here around Road America. So that will be very, very interesting, of course.
So, I mean,
I'm just really looking forward.
Yeah. I mean, what have the races been like when it comes to overtakes and stuff?
Well, Tatus, I don't want to call it boring, of course. The races that showed that it will go down to the final round. But quite a lot of side-by-side racing. not a lot of the cars. It was mainly Narashto making a one-off appearance there and showing everybody how it's done pretty much. And then earlier in MX5 it was also very close, and we did have quite a few trains of cars there. So yeah, that might also be seen today.
And I mean, in these cars, these guys can and will fight very, very closely, just due to the way the cars are set up, the way that they drive. It's going to be incredible to watch these guys battle on. To be honest, quite a narrow track. It reminds me a lot of Sebring, because of the narrow nature of the circuit, and it's also just really, really elevation changey, is the technical term I like to use.
Yeah, 20 more seconds and we'll see these beautiful TCRs race here for round 9, race 1.
Here come the lights. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red lights on. And it's go time. 11 cars go roaring down to turn 1 to start the first race of 20 minutes. It's been a decent start for Tesos Klios. Marcel Miku fairly quick off the line, but Christian Grzybowski stays alongside. Looking to the inside is the blue Civic. The Megane does cover him off. He's got space, but there's contact, and that is Marcel Miku off into the gravel, or off into the pavement, off into the wall somewhere. And Tesos Klios holds on to the race lead with Christian Grzybowski still in P2. It does look like he's taking Vasilis Penetsis with him down to P10 and P11. That is the worst way that his race could have started. And now his championship rival is only 0.4 seconds off of the race leader, and he has great potential to do some stuff in the near future. In the meantime, Saverio Piazza is looking for a podium position here on Weber Narashto as they make their way down to turn 5, the most popular overtaking zone on this circuit. And he's got alongside very, very nicely, just about capes it on track. Weber Narashto holds on to that position by the skin of his teeth, and he maintains P3 for the time being.
What a race start. I mean, Miku, he's going to have to push so much for the rest of the race. P11, he's dead last right now, pretty much.
Is not looking good for him, but it is a familiar position. He's had similar things happen before, so I'm sure he'll have no problem in trying to get back into that headspace and then making a move. Speaking of moves, here's Vittorio Day on Ricky Baramos, a Hyundai on a Cupra. We haven't seen a Hyundai forever, probably since last season, and he does make that move very, very easily, sticking it around the outside of the kink. A very, very quick corner, I have to say. Oh, and that's... Oh, dear, that's Marcel Miku just about keeping it on track. Vasilis Penetsis is still fine. Ricky Baramos as well. That is Avidas, who's made it through there as well. Vasilis Penetsis is the Audi that has spun out. Oh, dear, that was coming through Kettle Bottoms and Canada Corner. What do you think happened there?
I probably clipped somewhere the curb on the inside there into the turn, or just hit the grass and lost the rear, but that was a very strange incident there.
I mean,
usually
one thing we're just seeing
with rear-wheel drive.
Just that instability, I guess. Oh, and it's a slow car with P6. Vittorio Day making some moves as well in the background there.
It does give Marcel Miku an extra position back up to the top though, but still quite a big gap for him to chase down.
I mean, at the moment, he's not making too bad of an effort. He's currently in P9 on the rear end of Ricky Baramos, who's moving very slowly through that right-hander of turn 3, and into Moraine Sweet we go, and he's got that move done already. Bringing it back up to P5, Jeremy Kazantzis is looking for P4, and Saverio Piazza into turn 5 we go once again. He does have that inside line, and unfortunately Saverio Piazza does then end up going straight on. Here comes Vittorio Day. Can he manage to get past by the time they get to turn 6? Yes, he can. And in the space of 2 corners, Piazza has dropped 2 positions. That has gone very, very poorly for the man in that Civic.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite an important track to nail your exits at. I want to not say any curse words, of course. It's a crap load of straight line areas or just top speed areas, so drivers really have to maximize everything there. Otherwise, you're losing speed, time, and there's a car right behind you waiting for each and every opportunity to overtake you.
Yeah, it's crazy how much damage a single mistake can do. I mean, we've seen plenty of that tonight. Single mistake from somewhere in the midfield, but well, somewhere up high between Marcel Miku and Vasilis Penetsis, and that resulted in them going down to P last and P second to last. And then earlier, you know, we saw Vasilis Penetsis in the Audi again. He just loses the rear, and it's gone. Here from Saverio Piazza, one overtake, one mistake from him going straight on, quite managing to nail that braking zone, and he's lost 2 positions in 2 corners. It is very punishing.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to maximize everything out of this track. I personally love the track, but boy, am I slow around here. I cannot maximize anything out of any car here. Only luck occasionally, but other times I fall through the Road America bump on the main straight, so...
Yeah, I mean, different circuits have different characters and different characteristics, don't they? Which appeals to some drivers and doesn't appeal to some drivers. So for some guys, like Tasos Klias, this circuit is a dream to drive because he's currently a second ahead of his main rival. Marcel Miku, though, is looking for a position on W4T and makes that very, very easily. P7 is now Marcel Miku's, and he's fought his way back up into the top 10 and almost into the top 5. He's now got Saverio Piazza ahead of him, who we've seen be fairly active tonight, and it should be a fairly straightforward overtake for Marcel Miku, depending on how the Civic ahead defends, because we've seen some great stuff from Piazza in the past, haven't we? Especially against drivers such as Narashto.
Yeah, exactly. It's clear he doesn't have the pace today, but Miku hasn't found a way around him yet, so that's unfortunate. We also don't have Daniel Airy. No, not Daniel Airy, what am I saying? Anthony Perkinen today, our favorite dive bomber, so that's a bit unfortunate.
I mean, this circuit would have been perfect for him. Just send it up the inside and then, you know, just hope for the best. Well, I say perfect. To be honest, it's a very narrow track. So if we do get any dive bombs, it's going to be sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. Round the outside, here we go. Marcel Miku trying to hang it around the outside of turn number 12. The Canada corner just about maintains his racing line and just about stays on track, almost into the barriers. And he does manage to make that move stick. Lovely stuff. Marcel Miku up into the top 6 now. He's got Vittorio Day 3 seconds ahead. Can he close that gap in 13 minutes? We'll have to wait and find out. In the meantime, Piazza's compromised his exit, and now W4T, I'm just going to call them water kids, because no, that doesn't quite sound right. The Magan, shall we say, is now on the rear end of that Civic, and now alongside by the time we get to the braking zone for turn 1. It's a really fast right-hander, so it's going to be slightly sketchy, and he thinks so too. Does pull back in, and he doesn't go for the overtake attempt this time, maybe setting himself up for an overtake later along the road.
I mean, we're only 8 minutes in and it's already been quite exciting. Miku, quite a few big gaps to climb for him though if he wants to minimize points loss right now. As he said before in interviews the last few races, he's not been feeling the car at all. He's been quite struggling even, despite winning last round. And I noticed earlier when he was trying to make an overtake stick into Canada corner that once he hit the brakes he immediately had to counter steer, so clearly a bit of rear instability in that Civic that's holding him back today.
Yeah, it's really difficult to push with a car that's oversteering sensitive because it feels like you can never quite put the power down, at least in a rear-wheel drive car, but because these are front-wheel drive, if you just smash that throttle pedal, you're just going to get a load of understeer. So it's more about kind of rotation on the brakes, really. And again, you know, if you're not confident in getting that car rotated, you don't get that brake balance right, then the car is going to feel way too twitchy, and you're kind of going to be driving under the limit the whole way because you're just trying to prevent the spin from happening 100% of the time. And I mean, it hasn't stopped Marcel Miku from performing though this season. I don't think his complaints are quite 100% grounded. I mean, it might not be the car that he wants, but he's still doing a smashing job at coping with it. I mean, 100 points ahead of the nearest competition, and it's one round to go. And, in one corner, we also see Vittorio Day go straight on into the grass. That gap that was 3 seconds is now down to 1 second and closing on the main straight. This could get very interesting into the first sector.
I mean, if Miku keeps this pace up, he might have a shot at winning the championship here today.
I mean,
after he will take P5 shortly, that's my prediction at least, will then be 5 seconds to P4, so will be kind of difficult, but we have seen him do the impossible before, so why not do it again? Into the slipstream he goes now. On of Vittorio Day, he already pulls out alongside him, left the inside into turn 5 right there. Heavy braking incoming right now. Vittorio Day sends it down the inside, but Miku stays calm and collected and retakes the position. What a daring move from Vittorio Day. Beautiful to see, but I thought there was no way in hell he would keep the position from that.
That was a very, very brave maneuver. That was incredible from Vittorio Day. He almost managed to hold on to it with a switch back into the braking zone. That was amazing to watch. Even though it didn't work out, that was absolutely incredible. I mean, how easy is it to, well, I say how easy, how difficult is it to pull off I would say a defensive, but maybe offensive move like that? How tricky is it to pull off?
It's very, I mean, I rarely see it happen when I'm commentating, when I'm watching races, when I'm racing myself, so it is a very daring move. It is kind of scary to see, but once you see it, it's always beautiful.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of overspeed. That's what killed it. He was just going in just a little bit too quick.
I think he was a bit too far behind, so he had to brake too late, which sent him a bit too deep into the corner. Otherwise, if he was closer and if they carried a bit more of the same speed on that straight there, he might have been able to take it then, but this time clearly not.
So while these two battle and Marcel Miku slowly makes his way back up the field, Tesos Klios continues to build on his lead, now 2.3 seconds ahead of Christian Grzybowski in P2, and Wiebe Narasto rounds out your podium finishing positions for now with 8 minutes to go. Jeremy Kazantzis in P4, also 5 seconds behind the podium finishes, and Marcel Miku another 4.8 seconds behind them. But he is closing that gap, so if we see a mistake from Jeremy, anything could happen. He could be promoted up into P4 and get even more points. I'm just wondering, how many points does he need to win this championship today? Where does he need to finish?
Well, I mean, my math is not good. I tried to do that Tatus yesterday, but didn't go well. But right now, Marcel Miku is exactly 100 points ahead of Christian Grzybowski. So, if he manages to outscore Grzybowski overall this weekend, he will take the championship. Thing is, right now he is in P5 and Grzybowski is in P2. So if the next race their positions are reversed, Marcel Miku will have to take it to the next round. And if he DNFs there, then Grzybowski will be equal on points if he wins then. So lots of if, when, thens. But I think definitely after race 1 here, I'll count up the points so we can have a realistic view of race 2 and to see if he takes the championship, because it could be very close today.
And there's so many variables yet to happen as well. I mean, there's all the post-race stewarding that usually happens as well. If something happened, I mean, Marcel Miku did have that incident with Vasilis Penetsis on the race start, didn't he? So that could potentially add on some penalties to his position today, which could further impact his results. I mean, if it's a 5-second penalty, drops him to P6. If it's a 10-second penalty, that could even drop him down to P7, P8 maybe, depending on what Piazza and W4T get up to. But as it stands, P2 and P5, the difference is 16 points. So Grzybowski would gain 16 points on Marcel Miku's lead, which would bring that gap down to about 84 points. And then if that happens again in the next race, then it's going to be... what's 16 minus 80? Well, 84 minus 16. That's 68? Something like that.
Sounds about right, man. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
It's the commentator maths. We never get this stuff right, even though we technically should have learned this stuff at GCSE and A level. I have an A level in maths, and I suck at doing maths on the fly. But this could get interesting. W4T and Piazza once again. Oh no, sorry, that's Penetsis and W4T having a go at each other here for P8 on the line. And that will allow Piazza some space, some time to get ahead. Penetsis now 0.3 seconds heading through the right-hander of currently turn 7, down Hurry Downs and then into turn 8. That's a good overtaking zone, but he is slightly far behind to make a move. He does think about it though, and that has put the Megane off the track and off the racing line onto the grass and on the inside line, and through goes the Audi. Vasilis Penetsis, lovely stuff. Lovely mental game there to get past the Megane.
Oh yeah, I mean, in that position pretty much settled. The damage has been done. But looking at the gaps right now, I don't think Marcel Miku will improve up to P4th race 1 here today, except if Jeremy Kazantzis makes a massive mistake, which I don't really see him doing that quickly. I think he's just trying to maintain the gap to the car ahead and behind right now, as we see Marcel Miku take a trip onto the grass right there. So yeah, next race it will all be down to Miku possibly getting a win and Grzybowski finishing 5th to get the title, but again, we'll have to see.
Yeah, so basically 16 points. As long as he can finish 16 points ahead of Christian Grzybowski next race, that could get him the race, the championship win, excluding post-race stewarding, if we assume that. But I guess you'll have to join the Discord to find out. Or join us next week to find out. Looks like Vasilis Penetsis is slow though. Saverio Piazza now gaining on him as well. This mid-pack trying to revive some battles from earlier in this race.
Yes, indeed. Honestly, I kind of want this race to end in a way where we have the championship fight go down to the final round. Then again, not that much, because crowning a champion early will also be kind of fun, but we'll see. I mean, the other 2 championships in AC will go down to the line though.
Yeah, I mean, Vasilis Penetsis and Piazza giving us some good entertainment in the meantime while we wait for the race to conclude. It's 2.5 minutes to go and Penetsis is up into P7, Piazza down to P8, and his old rival W4TR is waiting in the wings 2.3 seconds behind. But again, like you said, it's really late in the race. I'm not sure we'll see many more moves. This is potentially the last one. Vasilis Penetsis is doing very well to recover from his earlier race misery. I mean, it was the crash with Marcel Miki to start with, and then, of course, that spin down at turn 12. That was just crazy to watch. And he's now made his way back up into P7. It's not gone the way he wanted to, but he's done well to recover from what could potentially have been an even worse race. Marcel Miku now within 3 seconds of Jeremy Kazantzis. It's taken him a long time to close that gap. Tasar Sklios has opened up his gap to 3.7 seconds. He's just set the fastest lap time, and we'll get 2 more laps of racing here. It takes about just one. 2 minutes
Final
15 to get a lap done. Sorry, I thought it was 1 minute 15. I misread that. So now he's going to cross the line with plenty of time to spare. It is pretty much just a sprint to the line, and he is now 4 seconds ahead of Grzybowski. I don't think Grzybowski is managing to take P1 here.
Yeah, no, the gap for Marcel Miku is starting to shrink though, but 2 seconds in one lap is very unlikely unless Jeremy might feel the pressure and make a mistake. So we'll be at the edge of our seats until the end of the race right now.
Oh, to be fair, it is looking very tense. 1.8 seconds, 1.5 seconds. Oh, Miku's gone wide. Oh, that killed it.
Yeah, we jinxed it. Commentator's curse, I mean. I thought Jeremy might be fuel saving maybe, but then with that mistake from Miku, it doesn't matter anymore.
Unless Kazantzis is fuel saving so heavily that he then has to completely lift off for the final sector. But, I mean, yeah, he was gaining so quickly. I almost thought he'd made a mistake into the left-hander of turn 5. And then that allowed Miku to close very, very quickly. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, no, and looked like Miku had to correct there in the middle of the carousel, which is also not positive for his race. But there we go right now. Thesis Klias a commanding performance even in race 1 here right now. Starting all the way ahead and finishing all the way ahead. The Renault Megane comes on to the main straight right now and wins race 1 here at round 9. Beautiful race from him. We will have Christian Grzybowski, Miku's championship rival, finishing in P2. Narashto, who won here in Tatus yesterday, will take P3, my apologies. Jeremy Kazantzis P4. Miku, after that mistake and those issues in race 1, P5, even hits the wall prematurely there. Vittorio Day will come around P6 with Vasilis Bernatsis P7. Piazza, after some nice battles, will be P9. Then W4T P9. Caveradicious will finish P10 if I'm correct, and then Ricky Baramos will be P11.
I mean, it's been an interesting time for Avidus. He's kind of just disappeared in the background, and we're kind of just waiting for the race to finish because of him now. But it's nice to see some new names. Ricky Baramos, one of the new kids. W4T, also new to the championship. Jeremy Kazantzis, also a new name. But we are missing that Audi driver known as Anthony Perkins, the dive bomber. I am missing him, to be honest. I am missing him. I haven't seen him ages.
Yeah, I mean, race 2 will be very interesting right now. I am very excited for this.
Oh, yeah.
Because if Miku wins and Grzybowski finishes 5th or lower, then we might be crowning a champion.
I mean, even...
Let me quickly take my notes right now. I'm going to try and do the math.
Because, I mean, the gap between them points-wise for the first race is 16 points, right? So, because Marcel finished P5 and Christian finished P2. So 36 points for the podium position, and then 20 points for P5. So that's 16 points difference. If Marcel Miku wins the race, he gets 50 points. P2 gets 36 points, so that's a gap of 14 points. Not 16, 14. So basically, if he wins, then he needs Christian Grzybowski to finish P3, and he's got the championship. If he finishes P2, he's still potentially got the chance, but it will then have to be a DNF from Marcel Miku next race. So I mean, either way, it's looking it's looking in Marcel Miku's favour, but it's, you know, you can never discount it. But I mean, otherwise, it's been quite a boring race. Yeah.
If Miku wins, and Grzyzbowski finishes P3, Miku takes championship home. If it's P2 for Grzyzbowski and Miku wins, it will go down to the final race. But yeah,
Cool.
then he still has to win, and Miku has to lose the championship. As to DNF from the race and score 0 points, which I don't see happening. I think my prediction is that Miku will win the TCR championship. Just
Ooh.
maybe not today. It will all, of course, be decided race 2 right now, but we will see.
I was about to say, don't jinx it, because
Yeah, no.
I mean, if he DNFs now, then I mean, to be fair, Christian Grzyzbowski, he's going to start ahead of Tesos Sklias, but we know who the faster driver is, so I think it's only going to be a matter of time before that Magan gets back ahead. So probably still P2 for Grzyzbowski, but even then, still, it's all going to weigh in Miku's favour. He's just got the momentum, he's got the points at the moment. Like you said, I didn't see him bottling it anytime soon. I'm prone to agree with you, and this is where we put the bookmark in, just in case we've accidentally cast the worst commentator's curse of all time, and doomed Marcel Miku's championship. Hopefully not, though.
Well, I doubt it, but yeah, maybe we can work some reverse magic and say no way Marcel Miku wins the title here today, but
we're playing with fire here. We're playing with fire.
Yeah, exactly. Some asteroid might hit the sim racing track right now, and they'll be sent off to another space, another track maybe even. So.
So who's in that Magan on the front row? Because that can't be Tesos Sklias, can it?
Good question.
The other Magan is W4T, sorry. There we go.
Yep.
Ricky Barama starting probably dead last, but it is a Vidas starting on the front row of the grid. You've then got W4T alongside and Saverio Piazza in that Civic behind, and then the Audi of Jeremy Kazantsis in P4 as the lights go out and it's go time. 11 cars go roaring down to turn 1 to start the second race today. Once again, and Marcel Miku has outdone himself again. Up into P3 right from the get-go. Pushed against the wall. There's contact with the Audi. Avidas into the wall. But Marcel Miku still on track. Saverio Piazza takes the race lead. Marcel Miku P2. Vasilis Penetsis comes out in P3. Vittorio Day P4. Where is Christian Grzyzbowski? Grzyzbowski stuck in P9 behind Tesos Sklias and W4T. It was Tesos Sklias who managed to get a decent start ahead of Christian as well. But Marcel Miku, in the meantime, has done very well to get this race started on a good note. And he's now looking at the race lead here on Piazza. Heading into turn 5, it's all in his favour. All the odds are in his favour heading into this left-hander. As long as there's no contact, a slight nudge from the two, but Miku does play it safe, which I think is the right choice at this point in time. There's utter carnage behind them. Vasilis Penetsis now under threat from Vittorio Day for P3. Contact between the two, round the outside. Goes the Hyundai and he's off circuit. We've been Arashto looking for an opportunity as well. And Deus is dropping down the order, files in behind Weeben Arashto, but he's fallen prey to Tesos Sklias. And here comes Christian Grzyzbowski on the Hyundai as well, potentially. Ricky Baramas doing very well to get up into P7, but this onslaught for the race lead will not end until that blue Civic is ahead or otherwise in the wall.
I mean, that race start, Miku, he was already against the wall. I don't know why there was even an attempt to squeeze him right there, so that wasn't the best from Kvaradishis. As I see a car hit the wall there in the background, that was a heavy tank slapper, but Miku sends it down the inside right now. Whoa. He is in the race lead, but either way, he is set to take the championship right now. Grzyzbowski's only in P7. So Miku just has to defend his position, not make any mistakes. Ooh. There goes Saverio Piazza down the inside at the final corner. Miku in the slipstream, however. Will he be bump drafting? Will he be taking the slipstream into turn 1? I do not know, but man, are they making this exciting.
Christian Grzyzbowski also battling Tesos Sklias for P6, trying to limit the damage that has occurred in the race start, and he's done a very good job. He's now alongside there in the background. You can see him on the inside of that Megane. But yeah, Piazza fighting back against Marcel Miku. He's got nothing to lose in this championship, but for Marcel Miku, he's got everything to lose. Vasilis Penetsis loses it on turn 1. Here comes Wieben Arashto. He's forced to the outside. Vittorio Day waiting for the pieces, and it's a massive slide for that blue Audi, and Vittorio Day does get alongside in the process and takes the position. It was a doomed effort pretty much the moment he started sliding so massively, but here goes Marcel Miku once again. Turn 5, attempt number 2. He made this move earlier, but he couldn't quite get it done, and it's similar now. Just enough space left for both cars to coexist on the circuit, but he's still got that inside line for turn 6 now. If he manages to hold on to this, it's a good setup into turn 7. It's only a slight kink to the right, and he's done it. Up into the race lead he goes once again. Now it's a question of whether he can hold on to it.
He really has to extend this gap right now. That's the most important thing he can do. But Piazza, what an Italian madman, just sending it down the inside there, costing Miku the position and also the position to Vasilis Penetsis possibly. Mental.
This is fantastic.
That's all I can say, mental.
Piazza is outdoing himself here. He is desperate to hold on to that race lead. He's got 16 minutes to go. He's done very well to hold off the championship leader for 4 minutes so far. And Vasilis Penetsis is looking to join this merry party as well. Vittorio Day also hanging in the drapes behind. Here we go, though, on the inside line for turn 12, Canada corner. That is the blue Civics, but Piazza going for the cutback. Vasilis Penetsis also waiting for an opportunity. Vittorio Day now right up behind the second Audi. Round the left-hander they go, just enough space left. Here we go, 4 cars all battling for the race lead. Up the inside goes Vasilis Penetsis on the Civic, and he's made that move stick. Vittorio Day also makes that move, and Marcel Miku has dropped down to P4. Saverio Piazza holds on to the race lead. This is fantastic racing.
These damn racers are gonna have to make me do more math later on, man. I do not like this.
Oh
but
dear.
That was beautiful. The four cars there in a pack just battling as Miku lost out quite a bit of time, but rubbing his racing clearly as you see one of the cars go very wide there, which allows Miku to retake that position there in the background. But at the front we still have Saverio Piazza chasing Penetsis. This can all end horribly or greatly depending on who you're supporting here today.
Oh, here we go, turn 5. This is going to get really spicy. To the outside goes Piazza. Vittorio Day looks to the inside. This is going to be 3 wide into turn 5. It does look like it. Vasilis Penetsis sandwiched on the inside, and there's the inevitable contact. Marcel Miku can't quite take advantage of that. Tasos Sklias also mixed in there now. Up there in P4 on the inside of the red Civic. Marcel Miku takes advantage of all the chaos to get himself back up into P3, and Christian Grzybowski unable to make any progress. He's got to get through Piazza and Tasos Sklias now, but Christian is currently in P6. Marcel Miku P3. It's going to get very interesting for the championship here very soon. Vittorio Day also wide. Vasilis Penetsis hangs it around the outside, unable to get any purchase there, but still just about enough race room afforded between the two. Round the right-hander of turn 10 we go, into the kink. It's got to get very spicy indeed. Vasilis Penetsis off into the grass. Marcel Miku will take that position through the right-hander. He's got that move done. Tasos Sklias wants that move as well. Oh my goodness, it's contact! No! Utter carnage down at turn 11. And it's all gone to grief for Marcel Miku down at turn 11. Oh my days, Marcel Miku down to P7. Contact from Tasos Sklias and the Megane. He's just gone straight on ahead and then taken out the championship leader in the process. And that's Christian Grzybowski also caught up in that chaos. He's still in P8. So technically, for Marcel Miku, it's not actually as bad as it seems.
I am trying to open the stream on my phone right now to get a replay of that incident. That was, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to call that. I'm quite literally speechless right now. Okay, thank you for the advertisement, Twitch. I'm going to try it on my PC quickly.
Yeah, I think what happened was Tasos Sklias in the Megane. He was going for a move on Vasilis Penetsis because he lost so much speed through that kink. and then he's just massively overshot it. He kind of bounced off of the Audi as he tried turning in, and that of course put him straight over the apex for turn 11, and then bounced him into the championship leader. But I mean, he's come off very well from that move. He's currently in P3. He's just made the move on his fellow Megane driver W4TR for the final podium position, and Piazza in the meantime just holds on to P2, and Vittorio Day promoted up to the race winning position. Well, he stayed there pretty much. All the chaos has happened behind them at least, but still. Anything from you, Arthur?
Well, I mean, I just got to the clip and it's. Why can't I just slow this down? Can I pop this open a bit bigger? Thank you. So looking at the incident, you have Miku leading ahead, then you have Pernetsis and Sklius sending it side by side with each other. Miku didn't extend all the way to the exit where Pernetsis was going, but Sklius just sent it a bit too hard. I don't think he had enough traction to really make anything work, and just collects Miku, which ends up in an entire event of pure and utter chaos and death. So, yeah.
Massive tears will be shed. I'm sure we'll see some things be defenestrated through windows at some point because of that moment. Tesos Sklias, I'm sure he's going to be looked at. That incident is going to be looked at by the stewards, and I'm almost 100% sure that was all on Tesos Sklias, who's currently now in P2 and making some good progress up the grid. Marcel Miku, in the meantime, trying damage limitation against his current rival, Christian Grzybowski. He's 2 positions behind in P8 as he takes P6 away from W4T, who didn't really manage to put up much of a fight. It was on the straight, and he's just kept the throttle pinned all the way, as long as the second Megane doesn't decide to go for a rash move into turn 1, but it seems he's kept it relatively tame through there, and I think everyone's still just trying to process what happened last lap.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, currently Grzybowski is in P8. That will give him 14 points, while Miku still is relatively close to other cars, so he still has the opportunity to make up enough points. He's of course in P6 right now, which would give him 18 points, which would still not be enough for the championship. Then he'll miss it out by 2 points approximately, I think. Again, I am not a math expert. But we'll see near the end stages of the race. We're only halfway right now, so still time to go.
And it is spicing up around Marcel Miku's area, because Weber Narashto is now fighting with Saverio Piazza for that final step on the podium. Both cars go wide. Vasilis Panetsis also in there, the second Audi in the equation, but contact, and that's put him wide. And Marcel Miku bangs into the rear end W4T, now within 0.4 seconds of this. It's not a duo, it's not a trio, it's not a quattro, it's a what would be a gaggle of 5 cars, a quinto? Cinco, if you want to go French.
I mean, what is a group of 5 called? A quintet.
A quintet.
And I'm not gonna say the other thing on a live stream.
This is racing. Weber Narashto in P4,
exactly.
Saverio Piazza P3. Vasilis Panetsis looking for an opportunity through the right-hander of the Canada corner we go. Oh, sorry, no, this is turn 14, not the Canada corner. They do look very similar, and it seems to be a good exit for Weber Narashto. Same for Vasilis Panetsis. They also have the slipstream from the car ahead. Tesos Sklias setting the fastest lap. In the meantime, here comes the train of Audis now on the inside of that first Civic. The second Civic is waiting in the wings, ready to be unleashed at any point, whenever any carnage gets unleashed in the next couple corners. Through goes the Audi. He's maybe sent it slightly too deep, though. Piazza on the cut back. No, it is Narasho who holds on to that position, but just barely, because he does have to leave a space for the Civic on the inside, and he does lift off. Here comes Vasilis Panetsis as well. Marcel Miku maximising his exit. He's got the most to gain out of this. He's currently already made a position. Here he goes on the second Audi just ahead, pushed out way too far onto the grass. Always a little bit of space, as old Nando would say. But here we go, Piazza defending from the first Audi through the left-hander, just about holds on to it. There goes Narashto up the inside of Marcel Mikio. It is brilliant racing between this quattro of cars. Not quite a quintet yet because W40 is not there.
Whoa.
And he has spun it in the background. And in the meantime, while we were being distracted by the lovely drifting show in the background, Vasilis Benetsis has just taken P3. But, oops, Piazza decides otherwise. Up into P3 he goes with his signature defensive manoeuvring as we've seen all tonight. He's been absolutely fantastic on that defense. We've Narashto punted wide by Vasilis Benetsis, and Marcel Miku unable to make any progress through this quartet.
I mean, it's really difficult for him right now. Grzybowski is up into P7 right now, though I saw, so that would be 16 points for him. So time to change that on my piece of paper. I think Miku is a bit scared of the cars ahead because, I mean, look at that.
I would be scared as well because Piazza is
But he
now
goes
facing the wrong way on the track. It was close.
Through goes Marcel Miku. That's all that goes through my mind right now. He's up into P4.
Yep, up into P4 he goes, but Christian Grzybowski is now into P5, yeah. He has also slipped through that carnage. We've been Narashto dropped there as well.
Write down the current numbers and not at any positions yet because the plot keeps thickening right now.
I mean, we've got 6 minutes to go and then a little bit of time after the race to figure out what the point standings will be heading into the final race of the championship. But then we also need to consider potential penalties for some of the cars ahead. That might give some positions to Marcel Miku and Christian Grzybowski. There's so many variables that could still occur in the last 5 minutes of the race, such as Tesos Klias coming up on the rear end of that Hyundai for the race lead here into turn 5, the most popular overtaking zone of the circuit. He does have the he doesn't have the inside line. That's Vittorio Day on the defensive line. Round the outside goes the Megane, not quite able to keep the momentum going, but Vittorio Day has sent it in a bit too deep. And that is Tesos Klias, your new race leader for race 2. Well, I say new race leader. He was the race leader last race as well. Back up into a familiar position for the Megane driver right now.
I wonder if they'll keep battling and if maybe some other cars might be able to catch up to them, as if it is very vicious leaves or gets disconnected from the server right now. Marcel Miku is trying to make his mark up into P3 right now on Bernetsis, where he earlier had a few issues, unfortunately. So I think Bernetsis and Sklies and such are playing the team game for Grzybowski, because I think they're all on the same team if I'm correct. At least they all have the same type of profile picture, so I think they're trying to help each other, which, yeah, it's not the best going for them right now. I don't know how to explain it otherwise, because some of these moves are I like rubbing his racing, of course, it's part of touring cars, but it gets to a point, you know.
Yeah, there's a limit. There's always a limit, and it's always a balance between, you know, have you overstepped it? Have you, you know, you still need to allow them racing space. It's like you said, it's very difficult to get the right balance between them. The driver who is off balance, though, is Vasilis Benetsis in the Audi ahead. Here comes Marcel Miku. He's got the slipstream. He's got the exit. And it does look like he's going to get this position sooner rather than later. He wants that P3 position, that final podium position. Oh my goodness, I'm going all over the place. Forced to the outside, but he doesn't mind. He's just going to hang it round the outside and try to take that position, but he is unable to. If these two fight too hard, Christian Grzybowski could get involved here and then further damage Marcel Miku's chances at taking the championship win next race. I mean, the chances are that the championship will be decided next race as opposed to this race at the pace that it's going. Marcel Miku going round the long way again for turn 5 around Benetsis. Benetsis very good on the brakes. Oh my goodness, but he is all over the place mid-corner. Oh dear, this is going to get very interesting. Here's Grzybowski as well.
Miku had to slow down too much there, and it's costing him quite massively right now, but he still takes a position. They're both onto the grass. The two man fighting for the championship off, and Krzyzewski looks to have the upper hand in pace right now. He's trying to send it right now around the outside. Does he make it work? No. Miku just stays perfectly on the defense. Krzyzewski tries to go down the inside here at the carousel, but again, Marcel Miku just manages to steal away that lead from him, or P4, moreover.
Yeah, he's just trying not to buckle under the pressure, and Panettis is not helping in the slightest. But now that Krzyzewski's got that slipstream, by the time we get to turn 1, things might be different for Marcel Miku. Things might get violent as well. Could we see some contact heading into turn 1? It's all to play for between the two championship contenders as they head into the last lap of the race now. Can you believe it? Race 2 is almost at an end. We have one more lap to go. Teisos Klias currently leading. Vittorio Day P2 and Vasilis Panettis P3. We've had some crazy things happen this race, and one of the craziest now is Christian Grzybowski on the rear end of Marcel Miku, championship leader and championship P2 driver at the moment, about to go head-to-head for P4 and potentially their shot at taking the championship win. It's all going to be to play for next race by the looks of things for the time being, but there is still a minute to change things. Christian Grzybowski applying copious amounts of pressure to the blue Civic ahead, and he has got some space on the inside there through the right-hander. That's going to compromise the Civic's exit, but it is also going to compromise the Cupra's exit. Both seem neck in neck pretty much going down into turn 5, but Grzybowski has got the slipstream. He can pretty much choose whichever side he wants to take. Does seem like the Civic is trying to cover off that inside line to squeeze him. Into turn 5 we go. Christian Grzybowski on the inside for the championship. And it's still neck in neck.
I mean, Miku is doing everything he can right now, and we also see Narashto getting closer, so that might also throw something extra into the fight right now. Both going wide there, Narashto and Grzybowski. If Narashto sends it, I think math will be a very important subject then. As we go into the carousel for the final time, Marcel Miku still ahead of Christian Grzybowski, the championship runner-up versus the champion. Into the next flat-out corner where everything went south for Miku earlier on. This time, all is well. The Audi of Weber Narashto trying to follow there. All is still up for grabs, but as it's standing right now, we will have to go to Barcelona, the season finale, to settle everything. Teisos Klias rounds up the final corner. He will win this race here today, and with a commanding performance just like race 1. A double race victory here for him today. Vittorio Day will take P2, Vasilis Panettis P3, Marcel Miku will round up in P4. So that's 24 points for him. Do we get a photo finish? Yes, we do. But still ahead. So that's 20 points for him. Going to quickly do the math. That's 574 points for Miku. 486 for Grzybowski. Which means... Now the math is getting pretty difficult. Bear with me for a second. My smart ass is going to quickly grab the calculator.
I mean, definitely a pen and paper would be helpful.
Moment, but well, I'm also writing it down on paper, but even then, my brain is not working well. So that's... I might have done something wrong there, and it seems like my calculator also just decided to die on me. Served me well through high school. Clearly, once I'm in college, it stops working.
So it was P1 Teisos Klias, P2 Vittorio Day, P3 Vasilis Panettis, P4 was Marcel Miku, and P5,
P5 was Grzybowski.
Grzybowski. So the difference between Grzybowski and Miku's positions is 4 points, which means that the 16-point gain that Grzybowski had earlier is now cut down to 12 points. So essentially heading into the final race of the season, then it would be 88 points difference between the two, which theoretically still gives Grzybowski the opportunity to win if he takes the race win and Miku retires. But as we've discussed, like the chances of that happening are next to none. As long as he finishes, be it with a damaged car, be it he limps across the finish line, he'll still take the championship. So to be honest, it's looking very, very nicely for you, Miku. We do have a couple of drivers joining us in the commentary box, by the way. Marcel, Miku and Tesos Sklias being the two drivers that have elected to join us tonight. How are you two gents doing?
Yeah, hi guys, very well. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. That last race was absolutely fantastic to watch. Miku, how about you?
Honestly, I more feel like I should just have my balls imploded, to be honest. It was just that shocking.
Cool.
What a way to open the door here.
I mean, it was an absolute bloody shocker. I can't describe it any other way.
Yeah, no, it did seem to go sideways pretty much right from the get-go. Things just went wrong on the race start, race 1, and then race 2, you had contact with a wall. Massive crash mid-race for race 2. I mean, Tesos Sklias, he seemed to be right in there as well for that crash in the second race. Talk us through what happened there. I think you were trying to go for a move on Narashto, was it?
No, I was trying to pass Pernezis on the very fast right-hander, and the Audi lifted off, and I went further in to the right, so I hit the curb, and I think Marcel also lifted off, and he caught me off guard, so I tapped the brake, and when I tapped the brake, the rear, lost friction, and we made contact, unfortunately. So I was caught off guard there, like Marcel was caught off guard on the first race by my conservative braking on turn 1 because I had the car on my left.
Oh, gotcha.
So sorry if it was my fault. I need to check the replay and stuff.
Nah, I think to be honest, I'm the one to blame for that because I completely misjudged where the brakes were. I didn't predict it, and then before I realized it, I was already in the back of you.
No, but all season we had amazing races. It was a matter of time that we'll have a larger contact eventually, but it was nothing intentional. I'm sorry for Marcel, but for myself too.
I mean, it wasn't intentional. Like I said, the fault I think is on my end. I just completely misjudged the brakes because I was just so focused trying to get alongside, but I completely didn't realize we were going into T1, and by the time I realized it, yeah, I was way too close to hit the brakes and went into the back of you.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something that I think could be broken down by the stewards post race or in a replay or something. But good to hear you guys are kind of settled with each other because I know sometimes drivers can take things very, very personally when things get hot like that, especially with the championship on the line. I mean, Miku, your championship lead and your chance of taking a championship win are at stake here. According to our calculations, you currently have an 88-point lead heading into the final race against Christian Grzybowski. But I don't think we've done the math to see where Tesos Sklias will come out. Because at the moment he's on 354. So if you get 100 points today, that's 454 versus a lot more points. I don't think, unfortunately, Tesos, you'll stand a chance of taking the championship win this season. But you've done very well to get yourself into the top 3 this season. You've done very, very well to get those race wins and those podiums. Do you reckon you stand a chance at maybe setting more of a challenge to the championship protagonists next season, perchance?
Yeah, that's the target eventually. Mainly, it's been a very, very fun championship so far. There hasn't been a race that I haven't really enjoyed. Apart from maybe second race today, it felt very scrappy. But generally, it's we have lovely opponents here, and I hope we race a few seasons together.
Yeah, and Marcel, Miku, how about yourself? Do you see yourself taking the championship next week, or do you see yourself buckling under the pressure? I mean, whoever does though. Like I didn't see you buckling under the pressure next week. But how are you feeling heading into the final race of the season?
I mean, Barcelona ain't gonna be my favorite, especially with that awful chicane. I know I lost a rather crucial head-on in the last lap. It's gonna be a tough one, but I think with 88, unless it's an absolute miracle that I just completely bottle it, it's gonna go down to me taking it anyway, which will be something nice after the rather shocker that was this series overall. Well, not just the TCRs, but for the other divisions as well.
Maybe just not quite exactly how you imagined it.
No. Though I would like to talk about a bit about the runs as well, while I'm at it.
Yeah.
So as I already mentioned, first race right at the start, I completely misjudged my brakes, slammed into the back of Sculias, lost it, and all the way back to 10 billionth place or whatever it was, and tried to fight my way through. Was relatively smooth, and then as I was chasing Jeremy, the reason I said I should probably have my balls imploded was last lap. I completely bottled my brakes going into turn 4, hit them way too late, and that basically, that's the main reason really I said that. And then second race, honestly, that one felt more like a wreckfest rather than an actual race. I mean, at the start, I go with pretty much 3 wide going into T1, but I end up getting pinched to the wall, quite narrow, and I tried to back out, but unfortunately, I can't remember the name exactly, but he ends up getting pinched by Piazza, and then I end up getting pinched into the wall, which in return means I end up spinning that guy. I can't remember his name. I did apologize to him, but I didn't get anything back. But I'm sure he heard my response. I, of course, did feel sorry the fact that it did happen, but over the course of the run, it really did feel like a wreckfest with me against Piazza. It felt like a bit aggressive in the defending, probably a bit too much with the elbows out.
I have to agree with Marcel here, guys. He's 100% right. We've witnessed a few things ourselves too. So sorry you experienced this, Marcel.
Yeah. But yeah, back to the point, back to the topic. Bit aggressive, bit too much on the elbows out, and unfortunately, it ended up with the point between. I think it was either who was it? Was it? I think it was Pernetis, HCE, and Piazza. They ended up colliding into the corner that starts at sector 3. I can't remember the turn number, but that basically cleared HC and Piazza from the tally, so all that was left was to try to see if I could get Pernetis for third. But then Grisbaitsky ended up challenging because we were getting held back so much through all the battling. Not the greatest outcome, but could have been worse. Again, I do feel sorry for absolutely punting into the back of Skilius, even though he got away completely unscathed. And of course, second race, I do feel sorry for that Audi, or was it an Audi? Yeah, I think it was an Audi, that I ended up basically pinching because I basically couldn't do anything. And just unfortunate situation. Though about the big crash I had, I saw Pernetis went off track, so I tried to take advantage, and then I saw I was going into that fast corner, so I tried to tuck back into the line. But as I was doing that, I then was completely off angle. I hit the brakes, rear left, rear just went on me, and I got collected.
Yeah, I think I collected you the same way you lost your car. It's like synchronized dancing. It felt like this because our doors collided mainly.
Yeah, I mean, I was out of position anyway because I tried to tuck back in, but I couldn't
Yeah.
turn in to the
And
corner.
I saw you lift it or you braked, and I immediately came next to you because of the speed difference, and I
Yeah.
tried to avoid it, but I had no choice there. So again, sorry for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I didn't even know who was it that even collected me in that incident, and really, I think again, it was just I couldn't do anything because that corner you can barely take it. Like you can take it flat, but you have to nail the line.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was way out of position because I tried tucking back in, but then was completely off angle. I did brake a bit to try to slow the car down, but that meant my rear went, and then I just ended up getting collected, and not much I could have done. I think it was I think a racing incident, though, to be honest, on that one. I don't think anybody was significantly in the wrong on that one.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like the whole race just seemed fairly scrappy. Everyone kind of full sending it everywhere.
I mean, I can generally tolerate my defensive maneuvers. Like, of course, I don't do any of that like aggressive squeezing or anything like that. Like, of course, I do make sure to give them a car whiff, which is, of course, what you want to give them. And then if they're going side by side, then give them the space and let them take the corner.
Yeah,
It's
I
only
can vouch. I can vouch for that as well. I've experienced Marcel defending, but there are drivers, unfortunately, that they don't give even a car's length, and they push you onto the grass or they push you against the wall. And it can feel a bit unfair
Yeah.
driving. It can be a bit frustrating as well. So you try to contain yourself and try and pass
Yeah.
in as clean way as possible. But if it happens
Yes.
once, okay. But if you keep
Yeah.
seeing this stuff like every race, come on, there has to be
Yeah.
some driver standard adjustments.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the squeezing, I did actually get a bit aggressively squeezed by Pernetis while we were dueling with Piazza. Of course, I'm not sure if it was a case of he tried to line Piazza up and didn't see me. But of course, like he didn't squeeze me completely onto the grass. He did put me like half on the grass.
Yeah.
And I wasn't overly too complaining because I suspected he was just lining up a move on Piazza, but didn't happen to see me in the way. And in the end, it didn't even really matter because the two ended up having a bit of a collision later on. Still, it felt more like a wreck fest, to be honest. That's honestly my final verdict.
Yeah, it was a crazy race tonight. So I guess we'll just have to let the stewards do their thing, and then take next race head on. Arthur, do you have any closing questions?
Not really. I just want to say that was some exciting racing today, and I'm very excited for the season finale next week.
Absolutely. I'm assuming, Marcel Miku, you're going to be there next week to defend your title. Tesas Sklias, will you also be there?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, Marcel can even not race. He can burn his drop round. He will not race and he will still gain points. So the championship is his.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it could not be. Ooh, cliffhanger. Come back next week to find out.
Yeah, I think to be honest, on my case, I'm going to go in there anyway just to finish it off.
No, you should. We need to race a bit more. Yeah, we're having too much fun.
Yeah, like I am going to finish it off. At least finish it off on a semi-positive note, because I know the Tadis is finished. There's not much I can do. The MX5, I'm gonna be very tight in the final. And then the TCR, assuming I don't absolutely bottle it, then it will go to me.
Yeah.
Which means that one will be finished, and I'll at least have 1 out of the 3 titles. It's not the outcome I wanted, but it'll be something.
Yeah. So, I mean, to join us for that, just come back next week, 9 p.m. GMT, as always, for TCR. But before then, we also have loads of other racing action. We've got some ACC, we've got some LMU over the weekend as well. And then, of course, the Tartus and MX5 championships happening also at the same venue for our TCR finale over at Barcelona, happening at various times Thursday and Friday evening. Next week, it's going to be the championship finale for those 3 championships. So do be sure to stay tuned for those races. And, of course, then next week's TCR finale. So with that, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Yanis, this has been Arthur, this has been Sklias, and this has been Miku, some of our championship protagonists, and this has been Phoenix Sim Sports for Season 16, Round 9, here at Road America. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all next week. Good night.